Have you ever looked forward to that warm, relaxing shower at the end of a long day? It's that one quiet moment of peace. A simple, comforting ritual we've all come to cherish for a lifetime. We believe that a feeling of clean comfort is a sign of good health. A way to wash away the stress and aches of the day. But here is the nightmare that nobody is talking about. What if that simple habit was silently putting you at risk for a stroke overnight? It comes with no warning, no symptoms, and no pain. You step into the bathroom feeling just fine, but by morning, your speech is slurred, your balance is gone, or one side of your body just doesn't move. Shocking research suggests that for seniors, certain common shower habits can dramatically increase the risk of this exact scenario. As a brain doctor, I have to tell you a heartbreaking truth. Over my career, I've seen far too many patients struck down by strokes they never saw coming. And when we looked at their lives, the cause wasn't always smoking, or a poor diet, or a lack of exercise. No, it came from the way they showered. I'm not talking about theories from a medical journal. I'm talking about real people. I'll never forget a patient of mine, a wonderful 74-year-old retired teacher who loved his hot evening shower. He called it his daily reset. One morning, his wife found him on the floor, unable to speak. That simple reset almost cost him everything. The truth is, there are 5 hidden dangers in our daily shower routines that most seniors are completely unaware of. In this video, I am not here to scare you. I am here to arm you with knowledge. We will walk through each of these 5 dangers, one by one. And I will give you the simple, practical adjustments you can make, starting tonight, to protect yourself. And please, make sure you stay with me until the very end. The 5th habit we'll discuss is the most overlooked of all, because it's something millions of us do right after a meal or taking medication, thinking it's perfectly safe. Understanding this final point could be the most important thing you do for your health this year. Before we dive in, I genuinely want to know how many of us share this concern. If the idea that a simple daily habit could hold a hidden risk sounds familiar, or if you've ever worried about these things, please take a moment to comment a simple yes below. It helps me understand what's on your mind, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the 5 hidden dangers, and the first one is something millions of Americans do every single night without a second thought. Dangerous shower habit number 1. Taking very hot showers at night. There is something deeply, deeply comforting about stepping into a steaming shower before you go to bed. I know the feeling well. The heat soothes those aching muscles in your back, it relaxes the stiff joints in your knees and your hands. And for so many of us, especially as we get older, it feels like the perfect way to wash away the day and wind down before sleep. It feels safe. It feels healthy. But as a brain doctor, I must warn you. What feels so comforting on the outside can quietly become a silent, devastating danger on the inside. For a person over 60, that nightly hot shower may be setting the stage for a stroke while you sleep. Here is exactly what happens inside your body. The moment that very hot water hits your skin, your blood vessels all over your body do something called vasodilation. It's a fancy word for a simple action. They open up wide. Think of them like thousands of tiny rubber bands being stretched out all at once. This sudden, massive expansion of your blood vessels causes your blood pressure to drop. Sometimes, it drops dramatically. Now, for a younger person, someone in their 30s with strong, flexible arteries, the body can usually handle that sudden shift. It adjusts quickly. But this is the crucial part one needs you to understand. After 60, our bodies are different. Our blood vessels are naturally stiffer, less forgiving. Our heart and, most importantly, our brain depend on a steady, stable blood pressure to get the oxygen they need to function. When that pressure suddenly plummets in the shower, it can literally starve the brain of oxygen-rich blood. And the signs aren't always dramatic. It's not just about feeling a little dizzy or lightheaded for a moment. For some, that's a warning sign they unfortunately ignore. In that state of low pressure and slow circulation, your heart can begin to misfire. Blood can pool in certain areas, making it easier for dangerous clots to form. And yes, it can set the perfect stage for a stroke to occur in the middle of the night, long after the shower is over. I will never, ever forget one of my patients. A kind gentleman named Mr. Anderson. a 74-year-old retired mail carrier from just outside Cleveland. He had a ritual. Every single evening, around 10 o'clock, he would take a long, hot shower before getting into bed. He told me it was the only time of day his arthritis didn't bother him, the one time he felt truly relaxed. One night, after stepping out of the shower, he mentioned to his wife that he felt unusually weak and a bit shaky, but he brushed it off as just being tired. He went to bed. By morning, his wife found him on the side of the bed, unable to move the right side of his body. His words were slurred, and his eyes were filled with confusion and fear. At the hospital, the brain scans confirmed what we suspected. Mr. Anderson had suffered a major ischemic stroke while he slept. His blood pressure had dipped so dangerously low during and after his shower that the circulation in the smaller vessels of his brain slowed to a crawl. In that vulnerable moment, a clot had formed and lodged itself in a critical artery, cutting off all oxygen to a part of his brain. What he thought was his harmless comfort, his daily medicine for his aches and pains, had quietly betrayed him. This is the hidden truth that no one ever seems to tell our seniors. Your body at 70 does not and cannot respond the way it did at 30. That hot water that feels so good on your muscles is also stealing stability from your circulation. And the longer you stay under that steaming water, the more your brain is put at risk. And listen closely to this part. If you take any kind of blood pressure medication, the effect is doubled. The medication is already working to lower your pressure, and the hot shower then pushes it down even further. It's a dangerous combination that leaves the brain completely vulnerable. So, before you step into that steaming shower tonight, I want you to remember Mr. Anderson. Remember that what feels soothing may silently be starving your brain. Your health, your independence, is worth more than a few extra minutes in the heat. If you're still watching and these insights are helpful to you, please just take a moment and comment with the number 1 below. It lets me know that you're with me on this journey and that this information is making a difference. Now, if you thought the danger of hot water was surprising, this next habit is even more subtle and potentially just as dangerous. It's a mistake I have seen far too many of my older patients make, simply because it seems so logical and efficient. Dangerous shower habit number 2. Showering immediately after a big meal or taking medications. For many of us, especially those who enjoy a structured routine, it feels perfectly natural. You finish a nice dinner, you take your evening pills, and then you head straight for the shower. It seems like a smart way to manage your time and helps you get ready for bed. It feels organized, responsible even. But what most seniors don't realize is that this specific timing can quietly create one of the most dangerous internal conditions for a stroke. It creates a perfect storm inside your body that your brain simply cannot handle. Let me explain the science of what's happening. When you eat a large meal, your body is a brilliant machine. It knows that its primary job is now digestion. To accomplish this, it diverts a significant amount of your blood flow away from other areas, including your brain, and sends it directly to your stomach and digestive tract. This is a normal, healthy process. However, if you then step into a warm shower immediately afterward, you introduce a second powerful demand for your blood. The warm water causes the blood vessels in your skin to dilate, pulling even more blood toward the surface of your body to release heat. Suddenly, your brain is caught in a terrible tug of war. The stomach is demanding blood for digestion, and the skin is demanding blood to react to the heat. The loser in this battle is always the brain. The result is a sudden and dramatic drop in circulation to your head. And as we've discussed, our aging blood vessels cannot recover from these sudden shocks the way they used to. When that circulation slows to a crawl, the blood can thicken, and in that vulnerable moment, a clot can form. It doesn't announce itself with a loud noise. There is no warning shot. One moment you are rinsing the soap from your shoulders, feeling relaxed, and the next, your brain is being silently starved of the oxygen it needs to survive. I once treated a patient named Mrs. Davis, a wonderful 76-year-old retired schoolteacher from Pennsylvania. She loved her routines more than anyone I knew. Every single night, like clockwork, she would take her blood pressure medication right after dinner and then head straight to her bathroom for a warm shower. She told me it was the perfect way to cap off her day and prepare for a good night's sleep. One evening, not long after she had finished her shower, she suddenly felt overwhelmingly lightheaded. Her vision blurred, and before she could even call for help, She collapsed onto the soft rug on her bathroom floor. It was her daughter, stopping by to say goodnight, who found her struggling to speak, her right arm completely limp at her side. At the hospital, the scans confirmed exactly what I feared. She had suffered an ischemic stroke. The powerful combination of her big meal, her blood pressure medication, and the heat from the shower had pulled a critical amount of circulation away from her brain. In that quiet, vulnerable moment, a clot had formed and blocked the flow of blood to the part of her brain that controlled speech and movement. This is the vital lesson I want every older adult to understand. Your brain simply cannot afford these sudden, drastic shifts in blood flow anymore. By the time we reach our 60s, 70s, or 80s, our heart pumps a little slower. Our arteries are less flexible. And for many of us, the medications we take are already actively altering our blood pressure and circulation. Adding a shower right on top of a meal or medication is like pulling the rug out from under your brain's support system. It triggers strokes. It forms blood clots. And it can leave you helpless in a matter of seconds. So I urge you, from the bottom of my heart, please stop this habit immediately. The solution is so simple. Always wait at least 1 hour, preferably 90 minutes, after eating a large meal or taking your evening medications before you step into the shower. Give your body the time it needs to digest, to stabilize, to regain its circulatory balance. It is a small change in your routine that can make a world of difference. Your brain depends on it. Your independence depends on it. Now, if you think the danger stops with timing and temperature, you'll be truly shocked by what I'm about to share next. This next habit is about the very air you breathe, and it can turn your bathroom, your place of comfort, into one of the most dangerous rooms in your home. Dangerous shower habit number 3. Standing too long in a hot, steamy shower without ventilation. For so many of us, the bathroom is a sanctuary. It's a place of comfort and privacy. You close the door, you turn on the hot water, and you let that thick, warm steam surround you. It fogs up the mirror, it muffles the sounds of the outside world, and it feels soothing. It can feel almost like a personal therapy session for tired muscles and stiff, aching joints. But what most seniors don't ever realize is that this seemingly harmless ritual can quietly create the exact conditions inside your body that trigger a devastating stroke. A hot, steamy shower in a closed bathroom doesn't just fog up the mirror. It robs your brain of oxygen and puts an incredible strain on your entire circulatory system. Here is the science of what is happening inside that steamy room. When hot steam fills a small, enclosed space like a bathroom, the amount of available oxygen in the air you're breathing begins to drop, especially if there's no fan running or a window cracked open. At the very same time, as we've learned, the hot water is causing your blood vessels to dilate, making them expand while your blood pressure falls. Now, I want you to picture this dangerous combination inside an older body. You are breathing in low oxygen air, while at the same time, your blood pressure is unstable and dropping. For an aging brain, with arteries that are already a bit stiff and fragile, this is a recipe for disaster. The low oxygen makes your blood move more slowly. It can even cause it to thicken. And in those quiet, peaceful minutes you're standing under the water, feeling relaxed, tiny blood clots can begin to form in the slow-moving currents of your circulation. You don't see it. You certainly don't feel it. But your brain is suddenly fighting a silent battle for every bit of oxygen it can get. And once one of those newly formed clots breaks free and blocks a vital artery in the brain, the result can be catastrophic. I remember a patient of mine so clearly. A man named Mr. Miller, a 79-year-old retired mechanic who took great pride in his independence. He lived alone, and his favorite part of the day was his long, hot shower in his small, sealed bathroom before bedtime. He once told me, with a smile, that the steam made him feel young again. He said it helped loosen up his sore back and knees after a long day of working in his garden. But one evening, after nearly 20 minutes under the hot water, he stepped out of the shower feeling unusually dizzy and weak. Minutes later, he collapsed in his hallway. It wasn't until the next morning that his neighbors found him, his speech slurred and the entire right side of his body paralyzed. In the hospital, our scans showed that he had suffered a major ischemic stroke. The deadly combination of the heat from the water, the steam filling the room, and the severe lack of oxygen had quietly thickened his blood, slowed his circulation to a dangerous level, and allowed a large clot to form that cut off the blood supply to his brain. What he believed was a peaceful routine, a secret to feeling young, had nearly cost him his life and his precious independence. This is the hidden truth that we must understand as we age. After 60, your body simply cannot handle long periods in an oxygen-poor, overheated environment. It forces the heart to work much, much harder to pump that thicker blood. The brain strains under the pressure. And every single extra minute you stand in that steam-filled room dramatically increases your risk. It triggers strokes. It forms blood clots. And once that damage is done inside the brain, a full recovery is never, ever guaranteed. So please, I am asking you to make this simple change starting today. Keep your showers shorter, ideally under 10 minutes. Always turn on the bathroom fan or crack open a window to let fresh air circulate. And never, ever trap yourself in a steamy, unventilated room thinking it's harmless. Because the danger is very real, and it builds silently and peacefully, right up until the moment it strikes. We've talked a lot about the dangers of heat. But now, we must discuss the opposite extreme, which can be even more violent and shocking to an older body's circulatory system. This next habit is one you may have seen praised on television or in magazines, promoted as a way to boost energy and stay young. But for a senior, it can be a deadly mistake. Dangerous shower habit number 4. Taking sudden, cold showers first thing in the morning. Across America, you have probably heard all about the supposed benefits of cold showers. Health gurus, television doctors, and young fitness experts all swear by the idea of shocking your body awake with a blast of icy water first thing in the morning. They say it sharpens the mind and strengthens the heart. And maybe, just maybe, for a 25-year-old athlete with perfectly elastic arteries, that might have some benefit. But for someone over 60, with aging arteries, a heart that has worked for decades, and blood vessels that have lost their youthful flexibility, that sudden morning shock of cold can be catastrophic. It can be like setting off a bomb inside your circulatory system. Here is why this is so incredibly dangerous. The instant that icy water hits your skin, your blood vessels do the exact opposite of what they do in hot water. They constrict violently. This is called vasoconstriction. Think of it as thousands of pipes suddenly being squeezed shut. This is your body's natural defense mechanism to preserve core heat, but the effect is incredibly powerful and instantaneous. Your arteries narrow sharply, and with the same amount of blood trying to get through a much smaller space, your blood pressure surges upward like a tidal wave. In a matter of seconds, your heart is forced to pump against an immense wall of resistance. Now, imagine what happens if those blood vessels, those pipes, are already stiffened from years of high blood pressure or have some plaque buildup from cholesterol. That sudden, violent surge in pressure can cause microscopic tears to form on the inside walls of those fragile arteries. And when that kind of damage happens, what is your body's first response? It's to form a clot to repair the tear. Tiny clots at first, then larger ones, until one of those clots breaks free and begins to travel through your bloodstream. If it lodges in the brain, it triggers a massive stroke. It steals your independence, your speech, your memory, all in a matter of seconds. I will never forget one of my patients, a gentleman named Mr. Clark, a 68-year-old retired firefighter. He was a strong man, tough as nails, and he had always prided himself on his physical fitness. After watching a health segment on a morning news show, he decided he would start taking cold showers every morning to keep his heart sharp, as he put it. For the first week, he told his wife it made him feel alert and energized. But one morning, only minutes after he had finished his icy shower, his wife found him collapsed on their bedroom floor. His face was drooping on one side. His speech was completely garbled, and his strong right arm, the arm that had carried fire hoses and saved lives, hung uselessly at his side. At the hospital, our scans revealed exactly what we feared. He had suffered a severe ischemic stroke. The cold shock had caused his blood pressure to spike so severely that a clot had formed in a damaged artery and traveled straight to his brain. The very routine that he believed would keep him strong and vital had, in fact, nearly taken his life. This is the critical mistake that too many seniors make. They try to copy health habits that were designed for much younger, more resilient bodies. Your arteries at 70 years old cannot and should not endure the violent stress of a sudden cold plunge. What feels invigorating to a young person can rupture a fragile vessel in an older adult. And once a clot forms in the brain, the future is always uncertain. Sometimes, speech never fully returns. Sometimes, balance is lost forever. And sometimes, precious memories fade away, piece by piece. So, if you want to feel refreshed in the morning, please, I beg you, avoid shocking your body with icy water. The solution is simple and safe. Start your shower with lukewarm water. Allow your body to adjust. Then, if you wish, you can slowly ease into cooler temperatures gradually. Protect your brain from that unnecessary, violent stress. Because what might feel like a quick burst of morning energy could, in reality, be the trigger for a lifelong tragedy. If this information surprised you, let me know by commenting "wow" below. It's a truth not many people talk about, and it's so important that we get the word out. We have now arrived at our fifth and final shower habit. And in many ways, this is the one that worries me the most, because it feels so completely harmless. It's a habit born from a desire for comfort and peace, yet it can quietly create the perfect storm for a stroke to occur while you are sound asleep. Dangerous shower habit number 5. Showering late at night, right before bed. For so many older adults, the late-night shower feels like a final ritual of peace. The long day is finally done, the house is quiet, and stepping under that warm water feels like the perfect way to relax and let go before climbing into bed. It is soothing. It is comforting. And it seems like the most innocent habit in the world. But as a brain doctor, I must pull back the curtain and warn you about what is really happening inside your body during this seemingly peaceful ritual. A late-night shower, especially a warm one, can create a dangerous cascade of events that leaves your brain incredibly vulnerable during the night. Here is the science of what happens. Throughout the evening, your body is naturally trying to cool down. This drop in core body temperature is a critical signal to your brain that it's time to sleep. When you step into a hot shower late at night, around 10 or 11 o'clock, you are actively fighting against this natural process. You are suddenly raising your body's core temperature right at the moment it's supposed to be dropping. This sudden heat, as we know, dilates your blood vessels, pulling blood toward your skin and away from your core circulation. But there's another critical factor at play here: dehydration. Even a simple warm shower promotes fluid loss from your body through both sweat and evaporation from your skin. Now, for a younger person, this isn't a significant problem. Their body can easily compensate. But this is why it's so critical for seniors. After 60, our blood vessels are stiffer. Our kidneys, which regulate our fluid balance, often filter more slowly and less efficiently. And many of us may already be on medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills that affect our hydration levels. This can lead to a very dangerous combination late at night: low blood pressure from the heat of the shower, combined with mild dehydration. And that is precisely where the greatest risk lies. When your body is dehydrated, even slightly, your blood becomes thicker. It's just simple science. When your blood is thicker, it does not flow as easily. It becomes more sluggish. And when that thick, sluggish blood tries to move through the narrow, fragile vessels of the brain while your blood pressure is already naturally at its lowest point during sleep, clots form. It triggers strokes. It forms blood clots. And it does all of this silently, peacefully, while you are sleeping and completely unaware. By the time you open your eyes in the morning, the damage may already be done. I will never forget one of my dearest patients, a woman named Mrs. Baker, a sharp and wonderfully independent 79-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She lived on her own and cherished her routines. Every single night, around 11 p.m., she would take a hot shower to help her muscles relax before getting into bed. It was her nightly comfort, her personal tradition. But one morning, her daughter called to check in on her, as she always did, and noticed on the phone that her mother's words were slurred and confused. She rushed over to the house and found Mrs. Baker sitting on the couch, unable to move her right hand, her eyes filled with bewilderment. At the hospital, our imaging confirmed she had suffered a stroke during the night. Her blood work revealed clear signs of dehydration, which had caused her blood to thicken. The shower she believed was helping her sleep, her nightly comfort, had quietly set the stage for this tragedy that stole a piece of her independence. This is what I need you to understand. The older brain does not tolerate these changes in circulation the way it once did. At night, your blood pressure is already naturally lower. Your circulation is already slower. Your brain is in its most vulnerable state. Adding a hot, dehydrating shower right before you lie down for 8 hours only amplifies all of those risks. What feels like harmless relaxation can, in truth, be the very thing that takes your future from you. The solution, thankfully, is so simple. If you love your showers, please, just take them a little earlier in the evening. Shower at 7 or 8 o'clock instead of 10 or 11. Give your body a few hours to stabilize its temperature and circulation before you go to sleep. And always drink a full glass of water after your shower to rehydrate. Protect your brain before you sleep, because nighttime is when strokes can strike the hardest and do the most damage. After walking through these 5 common shower habits together, you may be feeling a little surprised, maybe even a bit shaken. For decades, you believed that a shower was nothing more than a simple, daily routine. Something safe, something ordinary, something comforting. But as we journey through our golden years, nothing in the body remains quite the same. What once relaxed you at 40 years old may quietly betray you at 70. The truth is simple, but it is also sobering. Aging changes everything. Our hearts don't pump quite as strongly as they once did. Our blood vessels are stiffer, less forgiving, and far more fragile. And our brain, our most precious and delicate organ, depends on a very steady and predictable balance of oxygen, hydration, and circulation to stay healthy. Even something as innocent and as simple as a shower can upset that delicate balance. If it comes at the wrong time, at the wrong temperature, or under the wrong conditions. That is why so many of the strokes I have treated over my long career were not caused by a lifetime of smoking or eating fast food. They were triggered by these quiet, daily habits that no one ever thought to warn my patients about. A hot shower too late at night. A cold shock first thing in the morning. Too much steam trapped in a small, tiny bathroom. Each one can be the silent trigger that tips the scale from safety to tragedy inside your brain. But here is the most important part. Here is the hope. Knowledge is power. By simply adjusting how you shower, when you shower, and for how long you stay under the water, you can protect yourself from every single one of these hidden dangers. Remember the stories of Mr. Anderson, Mrs. Davis, and the others. Their experiences are not here to frighten you, but to empower you. To remind you to keep your showers a little shorter. To avoid those extreme temperatures. To never shower immediately after meals or medications. And to always listen to the whispers your body sends you. A moment of dizziness, a sudden feeling of weakness, a brief blur in your vision. Those are not normal signs of aging. They are warnings. I have seen firsthand how quickly a life can change when a clot lodges in the wrong vessel. Independence. Lost in a single night. Speech. Gone in a single moment. But I have also seen, with my own eyes, how simple changes, awareness, timing, and balance can keep our seniors sharp, steady, and safe for many, many more years to come. So the next time you step into your bathroom, I want you to remember this. You are not fragile, but you are different. Respect your body. Respect your brain. And give it the gentle care it has earned and so deeply deserves. Because your health, your memory, and your independence are worth far more than a fleeting moment of comfort. Protect them wisely. Your future depends on it. As we wrap up, we've explored 5 critical habits that can truly make a difference in our golden years. But knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will always turn on the fan, or I will wait an hour after dinner. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Reading them inspires me, and it will inspire others in our community to take that first brave step. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. To ensure you continue on this journey with us and never miss another video full of life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community dedicated to living our best, healthiest lives together. Finally, think of one person, a friend, a spouse, a sibling, who needs to hear this message today, and please share it with them. You might just change their life. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.